The crowd hums with anticipation, the air thick with popcorn, sweat, and flashbulbs. It's 1985. The World Wrestling Federation is roaring across America. And this official arena program, issue number 120, is more than paper. It's a time capsule from the dawn of Hulkamania, printed proof that wrestling has become religion. Inside the first spread, the energy jumps off the page. Revenge is coming. The headline screams revenge time for Tonga and Superfly. Jimmy Superfly Snuka and his fiery cousin the Tonga Kid are out for blood, chasing the loudest mouth in wrestling, Rowdy Roddy Piper, and his bodyguard Cowboy Bob Orton. The article burns with fury as it recounts Piper's coconut assault, his mocking of island pride, and the humiliation that made Snuka a silent volcano. Now, the Superfly is back, joined by family, and the writer swears vengeance will fall like thunder. It isn't hype, it's prophecy. Piper and Orton are cornered, the Polynesian storm is rolling in, and the only question is how much of Piper will be left when the bell rings. Turn the page, and the tone shifts from vengeance to violation. The Giant suffers indignity, recounts the most infamous ambush in Federation history. Andre the Giant, the smiling colossus adored by every fan in the building, is betrayed and brutalized by Big John Studd, Ken Patera, and Bobby the Brain Heenan. The description drips with outrage. Andre sprawled across the canvas, his massive frame helpless, while Heenan shrieks orders. Studd and Patera shear away his hair in clumps, laughing as they rob the Giant of his dignity. The crowd stands in stunned silence. The writer calls it a crime of arrogance and warns that the sleeping Giant will rise again. In that moment, you can feel the birth of the revenge arc that would define the year. Then a palate cleanser of optimism. Mike Rotundo, North Central New York's gift to professional wrestling. A feature drenched in hometown pride. The text praises his Syracuse amateur background, his discipline, his partnership with Barry Windham. Together they're described as the future of tag team excellence. Clean-cut, technical, the antidote to rule breakers like Murdoch and Adonis. It's the Federation's way of telling fans there's still virtue left in the ring. And Rotundo wears that banner like armor. But virtue always invites vanity. The next story bursts with attitude. Mr. Wonderful versus Mr. USA. Paul Orndorff, sculpted, arrogant, every muscle flexing for the camera, versus Tony Atlas, the proud powerhouse from Roanoke, Virginia. Their rivalry ignited on Tuesday Night Titans during a pose-down that turned into chaos when the crowd began chanting Paula. Paula. The article quotes Atlas grinning. I got muscles in places he don't even know he's got places. And Orndorff snapping back that jealousy fuels the mockery. Beneath the humor sits a perfect Federation morality play. Pride against dignity. Narcissism against humility. Every rep in the gym, fueling every slap in the ring. Then the heart of the babyface crusade. Tito Santana's New Year's resolution. Take back the Intercontinental title. The magazine tells the story with heroic cadence. Valentine broke the man's knee and took his championship, but Tito's healing, training, and seething. He admits losing fair would have been fine, but losing to cowardice is unforgivable. Arriba, he shouts, promising redemption for himself and the fans. Valentine, through Lou Albano's smirk, calls him delusional. The piece closes with the prediction that before the snow melts, the Intercontinental title might once again shine around Tito's waist. Reading it today, you can feel that unstoppable underdog heartbeat the WWF built its empire on. In between the matches come the treasures, the lifeblood of the era, the advertisements that turned kids into believers. The Hulkamania mail order page explodes with red and yellow glory, t-shirts, bandanas, posters, even a full-size, life-sized Hulk door banner for $10. Wear it anytime and any place, the text boasts. And thousands did, marching into school cafeterias draped in patriotism and polyester. There's a promise at the bottom. Your satisfaction or double your money back. Nobody ever asked for the refund. Across the next fold is the WWF Action Line, the holy hotline of rumor and revelation. For a couple bucks a minute, fans could dial 9766363 and hear Vince McMahon himself delivering breaking news. Who's challenging Hogan next? Who's been suspended? Who's heading for Madison Square Garden? In an era before the internet, that phone line was gospel. And every kid with a rotary phone became a reporter in their own house. The magazine's pacing is perfect. Rage, redemption, advertisement, and nostalgia rolled into one glossy loop. You flip again and find an article that feels like a pre-WrestleMania sermon. The Federation grows. It praises the new national expansion, the pay-per-view revolution on the horizon, and the entertainment spectacle unmatched in sports. It's corporate poetry, and it works. You can feel Vince's fingerprints in every line. Bigger arenas, brighter lights, cartoon heroes for primetime America. And tucked between the stories, a spread devoted to Tuesday Night Titans, the talk show variety hour where Vince and Lord Alfred Hayes played straight men to chaos. The blurb calls it fast-paced, humorous, serious, and filled with nostalgia, inviting fans to write to WWF headquarters with suggestions for guests. Reading it now is like reading a prelude to late-night wrestling culture itself. The back half of the program showcases the card that night at Madison Square Garden. It reads like a roll call of legends: Superfly Snuka and the Tonga Kid against Piper and Orton in a Texas Tornado Tag Team War. Andre the Giant returning to face Ken Patera after that haircut humiliation. Tito Santana challenging Greg the Hammer Valentine for the Intercontinental title. Junkyard Dog versus Playboy Buddy Rose. Big John Studd against George Wells. David Sammartino against Moondog Rex. Tony Garea facing Jim Neidhart. Even the undercard, Spoiler versus SD Jones. Moondog Spot mixing it up with Salvatore Bellomo feels epic in print. Every match accompanied by the hometown and build weight, that perfect blend of sports report and myth. At the very back, more Federation merchandise beckons. Official windbreakers, satin sports caps, the deluxe blue polo embroidered with the golden WWF logo. Stylish in or out of the arena, it says, as if wearing one made you part of the roster. There's even a short note reminding fans to tune in to All-American Wrestling, Primetime Wrestling, and Championship Wrestling each weekend. Those syndicated lifelines that stitch the country together before cable dominance. Closing the book feels like stepping out of a time machine. The world that made this program possible was simpler but louder, painted in broad hero strokes and neon morality. Hulkamania was more than a slogan. It was the Federation's heartbeat. Piper was chaos. Andre was majesty. Valentine was cruelty. And Tito was hope. Between the ads and the articles, you can see an empire preparing to conquer the world. WWF Program number 120 isn't just an event guide. It's the blueprint of a revolution. The moment the territories vanished, the birth of sports entertainment as spectacle, and the invitation to believe that larger than life could live forever.